the Brendola Hills, the Bassano del Grappa alpine foothills, the Berici Hills and Montecchio Maggiore. These are the places in the Vicenza area that hosted the Riondo Mountain Bike Orienteering World Championships in August 2011, the first time they have been staged in Italy. The championships began in Zugliano, a village on the Vicenza plateau. The qualifying heats for the long-distance final were staged in the gentle rolling Brendola Hills, the balcony of the Vicenza alpine foothills, with views over the southern slopes of the Asiago plateau. The start in Zugliano's central square was spectacular, against a backdrop of spectators and public figures who, as well as seeing the World Championships, were also able to savour the numerous local specialities. After the maze of paths and tracks on the ample slopes of Carrè, Chiuppano, Zugliano and Lago di Vicenza, the 300 competitors mustered all their remaining strength for the final sprint in Chiuppano's Terzi Square, where an entire itinerant village awaited food stands and free tasting provided by the Soppressa Vicentina and Prosciutto Veneto consortia. The best way to start a week of sport, discovering the traditional foods and wines of the area. They chose Veneto for this event. We've got great tracks and trails. We want to let these top-level athletes know that. We'll give them the chance to remember this region, a region that can give hospitality, extraordinary wine and food, and an environment with very important natural features. I'm grateful to the sporting institutions' contribution to this event. The trails are in a beautiful natural environment. We hope there will be a lot of satisfaction in these races. Thanks to all the people who worked hard to make this event possible. It's a very important moment for Zugliano, because we are letting the people know about our gastronomic products, such as our Zugliano porchetta, a special kind of meat that dates back to 1656. And we are trying to enhance the value of our product all round by letting people know about its origins and history. I want to thank the organising committee that gave us the chance to be here together, and the local authorities and volunteers who helped us to organise this great event. We have all worked together with great satisfaction, and I hope all the competitors have been happy with our welcome. The championships began in earnest with the opening ceremony in the historic centre of Vicenza, with the sport's Italian godmother and two-time Olympic champion, Paola Pezzo, doing the honours. I'm very busy in this period. I was at Val di Sole for the last Mountain Bike World Cup event, and tomorrow we're off to the World Championships in Chambéry. But it's an honour for me to be here today, to be present at the opening of the Mountain Bike Orienteering World Championships. This brand new sport, and we hope it will grow, just because it is very, very beautiful. Behind her, mayors, civil, military and sporting authorities, the young people from BMX Creazzo, the children from Città della Speranza, the Nordic walking lovers, the groups of volunteers and the Youth Council representative. And then there were the riders from the 30 countries taking part, escorted by a delegation from Vicenza Football Club. Piazza dei Signori in brilliant colours, with lots of flag. And there was a moment of great compassion when a cheque for €10,000 was handed over by Championship Event Director Gabriele Viale as a donation to the Città della Speranza Foundation, represented by its Vice President Stefania Fochesato. The councillor in charge of tourism in the Veneto region, Marino Finozzi, then declared the World Championships officially open.
Follow the sun on the silver screen. Be a champion, Orienteering.
Marostica and Bassano del Grappa were the places chosen for contesting the long-distance world titles, on the network of pathways and hills joining these two splendid towns. Marostica is known for chess, culture and cherries, and its characteristic chessboard square is where the famous live chess game takes place. The riders' efforts began here. A spectacular point on the course is the Cyclists' Church on the summit of La Rosina, an epic cycling hill climb. Bassano del Grappa, with its famous Alpini Bridge, designed by the great architect Andrea Palladio, is one of the jewels of Vicenza province. Bassano is a mixture of medieval treasures and Venetian-era architecture and is also known for its fine ceramics and celebrated grappa.
Orienteering, go run, simple sport, having fun. Not so easy to be number one, but the champion can run. Tomorrow a new day, one more race, another try to go faster and beat the time. Sometimes it's so hard and you had a bad day, never stop.
Amongst the world champions crowned in Piazza Libertà was the Danish female rider Rikke Kornvig, ahead of Ingrid Stengard from Finland and the Italian Laura Scaravonati. It's a medal we targeted ever since we knew the event was going to be in Italy. I had an injury last year, but I've been back since September with this target in mind. Everything went okay leading up to today, and today I had a perfect race. And hats off to Rikke and Ingrid, who were stronger than me on the flat. So I'm happy with this, really. More than this I cannot do. In the male event, the gold medal was won by Finnish rider Samuli Sarela, who was also the winner of the Grand Moravia prize for the fastest split time on the La Rosina climb. In the junior categories, the prizes went to Svetlana Poverina from Moscow and another Danish rider, Andreas Proschowski, who beat the Italian Riccardo Rossetto on a historic day that saw 2 medals going to the Italian team. It was an unexpected medal. I'm so happy about this result. The championship has begun in a great way for me, and I'm positive about the next races. I'm trying to feel the same vibes I had today, trying to repeat them. After the efforts and hill climbs of Marostica and Bassano, Wednesday was the last rest day for riders and staff before the final tour de force. Some used the day to visit Venice or the Palladian villas, and others to try out the rapidly growing sport of Nordic walking, accompanied by its inventor Marco Cantaneva from Finland, who treated the participants to an unforgettable lesson at the Colli Berici Golf Club in Brendola. The day continued in Brendola, on the northwest slopes of the Berici Hills, with the first tournament to be linked to the Orienteering World Championships, followed by a gala evening at the Colli Berici Golf Club, the sponsors of the event. Finally, on the third day, the World Championships moved to one of the loveliest beauty spots in the Berici Hills, the Pozzolo Plateau, in the municipality of Villaga. The competitors set off from the Valle Verde bike park for the middle distance final, the hardest and most technically demanding race of all. This is a well-known area of orienteering in the Vicenza district, and was where some of the very first races took place in the 1980s. The male and female junior categories in the second race of the week were won yet again by the Finnish rider Samuli Sarela and the Russian Svetlana Poverina.
Se oli vähän yllätys itsellekin, että molemmilta.
But in all the other categories the winners were different. In the female section it was the Austrian expert Michaela Gigon, and in the male juniors it was the very young Bogor Christoph from the Czech Republic.
I was surprised that there was still so much asphalt road in it, but there was one really cool downhill in it and I just enjoyed it.
After the race, riders and journalists were able to visit some of the local vineyards and taste some Colli Berici wines, famous all over the world.
Questa è un'occasione unica secondo me, perché questa è una vetrina internazionale dove possiamo presentare il nostro territorio che fa.
To me, this is a unique opportunity because this event is an international showcase where we can show off our area with its beautiful landscapes, old villas and excellent views.
Questo territorio qua ha la fortuna, e spero che con questi eventi lo diventi sempre.
We can show off our area to the entire world, and we are enthusiastic and happy about this. This area has the great fortune of being a natural gym, an area of unspoiled countryside with valleys, hills and plateaus, and this is the ideal sport for this kind of land. The international troupe transferred to the little village of Alonte for the final of the relay, the spectacular race for national teams. This tiny municipality, with its 1,600 inhabitants, in the midst of the Colli Berici vineyards, was at its gleaming best for the first ever world event in its history. The villagers and local council gave their all in welcoming the competitors, erecting what can only be described as an arena in the village square, and inviting illustrious guests such as the regional councillor in charge of finance, Roberto Ciambetti, and the vice chairman of Riondi Vineyards, Federico Tassoni.
Nei nostri paesi, nel nostro territorio, ci sono veramente percorsi.
In the villages in our area, there are tracks and courses that are perfect for this kind of sport, which can increase the level of the competitiveness and the technical, tactical possibilities specific to this sport discipline. The enthusiasm we see all around the race, in the local people and in the crews, this is the reward for everybody's efforts. It's such a great experience, and I hope it will be repeated in the near future.
Io credo che lo sport in tutte le sue forme, e purtroppo in quegli sport che a volte sono considerati ancillari, minori rispetto agli altri, sono invece
I believe that sport in all its forms, and above all the so-called minority sports, are real occasions for human beings to grow and express themselves. And I would really like all the really genuine competitive sports such as mountain bike orienteering to continue and increase all over the world.
Nulla di più ottimale tra riuscire ad
There's
abbinare
nothing
una
better than being involved in a great event for putting you in touch with nature and letting you appreciate what the southern Colli Berici can offer.
È fondamentale costruire una rete.
The fundamental thing, in my opinion, is to build a network if we want to grow with tourism and economic development. We need to build up a synergy between the smaller districts, working all together. The county border is not something that separates, it must be something that unites better ideas and better strategies. A great performance from Denmark again, who carried off both the elite and junior class world titles. But the novelty was in the female category, where Switzerland, driven on by Christine Schaffner, won their first ever gold, while victory in the juniors was assured for Russia with the immensely powerful Svetlana Poverina.
Ci occupiamo per quello che riguarda le comunicazioni radio.
We work on the radio communications between the civil defence groups and the organising committee. So far we haven't had any major problems, despite the difficulty of the races, except for a couple of little call-outs because of the high temperatures these days. We are all volunteers, we don't get any money for this. Some of us are unemployed, and some of us are here on our days off.
Fondazione Città della Speranza è nata per curare e sostenere.
The Città della Speranza Foundation was formed to help and support the Pediatric Oncology Hematology Department in Padua. We are now building a research tower in the Padua industrial zone, and sport has always been closely linked to the babies suffering from this illness. We raise funds in different ways. As well as the 10,000 euros donated to us by the organisers of this event, we have a lot of t-shirts, hats, bicycle clothing and cups. These are fundraising sources all the year round, and they give everybody the chance, for just a few euros, to have the Città della Speranza logo in their own homes and to spread it everywhere. The Vicenza World Championship week ended with the sprint event in Sossano, a village nestling on the southern slopes of the Berici Hills.
I think the territories are really good, and yeah, also the organization is okay.
It's very different from Denmark because, well, the weather is very hot and all the hills, but yeah, it's really funny to try something new. So.
Yeah, actually I can say it was great. Apart from the weather, but it's not your fault, and everybody's infected about it. But otherwise it was really superb organized, and even the terrains are really good.
I enjoyed this championship very much.
This, the shortest and most adrenaline-packed event, kept the whole village on tenterhooks for 2 hours in the Sossano velodrome, one of the oldest in the Veneto region. Victory went to the Russian Anton Folivarov, who made up for his bad luck in the first part of the championships, and to French rider Gaëlle Barlet, whose excellent performance surprised even her own national teammates.
I'm very happy. I don't realize now. I haven't got the word to explain my joys.
Today I'm very happy because this championship started with not good for me, and by sprint I try to win and to get a best result in this event, and I make this and I'm very happy.
In the junior class, the young Muscovite Svetlana Povarina won her 4th gold medal in what has been a truly unforgettable week for her. And the Czech Bogor Christoph won a splendid double gold and silver together with his teammate Martin Tisnovsky. A very busy event, ending here in Sossano with the sprint. Tired but happy. The movement in Veneto is continuing to grow. This is the Italian region with the highest number of athletes, with 30 affiliated teams. We're competitive, and this can be seen also in the big events we're organising. And so, we are perfectly ready for 2014, when we will be hosting the Foot Orienteering World Championships. We are very happy, and there's great joy and satisfaction here. This championship has had a great finish here in Sossano with the sprint race, and the organising committee is a great team. I'm just the tip of the iceberg because it was our team that was great. It kept on moving all week long with great professionalism and great volunteers. Everybody gave their best, everybody worked hard. We've been going in the right direction and we've made ourselves into a winning team. It was a world championship based on our territory, and we built a system that everybody was involved in. The institutions, the Veneto region, the Vicenza provincial administration, 23 counties, the civil defence, the Alpine group, the Red Cross, the Italian Timekeepers Federation, the Montecchio Maggiore ecological guards, a lot of volunteers and a lot of associations from Vicenza. I would also like to thank all the sponsors, and not just the sponsors, but all those who played an active part in making this event a success. Thanks to all of you. At the closing ceremony in Villa Gazzetta, there was the presentation of the brightly coloured T-shirts in the presence of the Regional Tourism Councillor Marino Finozzi, the Chairman of the Città della Speranza Foundation, Franco Masello, and the Managing Director of Iceman Europe, Giovanni Paolino. And Sossano bade farewell to the people who took part in the 2011 Mountain Bike Orienteering World Championships. People who will be spreading the word about the beauties of Vicenza and the Veneto region all over the world.